enclosure? One for the data center on 340 Middleville. My neighbor's in the audience.
Ashley, did you hear anything from Kevin? Was Kevin? Okay.
She's my neighbor. It doesn't affect us, but it comes in like with
All right. Welcome everyone. It is now 6:30 PM. Welcome to the regular meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission, September the 2nd, 2025. We do have a quorum here tonight. You have myself, Derek Parks. To my right, Karen Stanfield, member. To my left, Michael Brayley, vice chair. And to his left, we have Susie Mendoza, which she is also a member. With the city staff, tonight we have Ben, Director of Development Services, and Roderick, the Planning and Zoning Manager. We have one consent agenda item tonight, which is approving the minutes from August the 4th of 2025. Commissioners, do you have any questions or concerns regarding the minutes from August the 4th?
No questions. I have no questions.
No questions.
No
All right.
questions.
Can I have a motion? Please.
Move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. The consent agenda item has been approved. Moving along to new business, which is number 2 on your handout, which is consider approving a preliminary plat for AREP Red Oak Edition, a commercial development on approximately 43.7253 acres of land out of the Benjamin East Fraser Survey, abstract number 371, which includes PID numbers 183-449 and 308-652 in Ellis County Appraisal District, City of Red Oak, Ellis County, Texas. Case number P as in Paul, S as in Sam 25-22, requested by Red Oak 66 Holdings LLC.
And Chair, this is actually a companion item to number 3. So if you want to read that one as well, we can go ahead and approve one with both of them in one motion. And then also please do make the motion in a contingent on approval of the zoning by the city council.
Okay. Thank you. We're going to include tonight agenda item number 3 with number 2, which is number 3 is going to be case number P as in Paul, S as in Sam 25-23 also. So we're going to do both of those at the same time. City staff.
As Ben mentioned, this one is coupled with the next agenda item. This one is just a preliminary plat to approve this this portion of the land. So this is approximately 43.7253 acres of land that is coupled with a upcoming item, which is going to be a data center. This one is located at the corner of East Ovilla Road and North State Highway 342 right here on the map, if you guys can see. So they're just looking to plat this into one tract of land or one lot so they can develop on the site. So it'll be a preliminary plat because of the size, which will ultimately roll over into a final plat, assuming that the zoning gets passed, which we'll talk about that a little bit later.
Okay.
So you want to just move on to the final plat exhibit as well?
Agenda item 3, yes.
The final plat is going to be very similar to that one. Just final plat exhibit just cleans it up a little bit more, removes all of the additional trees that you saw here, just cleans it up, and that's really it.
Yeah, just a reminder, preliminary plats are planning documents. Typically they're what their worth is or their value is like a multi-phased subdivision. So, you know, you got 5 phases of a subdivision, it's nice to know the full layout of the subdivision. And then you come in and plat each phase individually. Because this one was over the threshold of acreage that we're required to do a preliminary and a final plat, we had to, even though it's one lot, it still had to be a preliminary and final plat.
Okay, thank you, Ben. This is not a, public hearing. Commissioners, do y'all have any, questions or concerns regarding agenda item or agenda 3?
Why were all the trees removed?
So the checklist for the preliminary plat is to show all the existing trees. Plats are legal documents, so you don't want it mucked up with paving and trees and water lines and things like that. It's just showing the legal lot lines and the legal dimensions and things like that of easements.
Also, the preliminary plat wouldn't get filed. This final plat will.
Right,
ultimately get
yes, the
filed.
preliminary plat is not necessarily a legal document, it's a planning document in-house for the city, not for recording purposes.
Commissioners, have any questions or concerns?
I don't have any.
Anything from you, Michael? No more questions. Can I get a motion to, in regards to agenda item 2 and agenda item 3, please?
I move that we approve both agenda items 2 and 3 contingent on approval by city council.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Agenda item 2 and number 3 have been approved. Moving along to number 4, which is on the back of your handout. This is a public hearing and consider a zoning change from PD 108, revised PD 108R to Plan Development 108 revised to PD 108R2 to allow commercial and multifamily uses to be developed on the site on approximately 17.23 acres of land. The property identification number is 1870444 Ellis County. Appraisal District, City of Red Oak. Case number Z as in zebra, C as in cat, 25-21, requested by Darian Shannon. Staff, please.
All right, yes, thank you again, Chairman. So I wanted to show you exactly where this one is at, so we can dive into it. This one is as you mentioned, it's proposed to rezone this particular piece of property and amend the current zoning on the site. This one is located along South Central Boulevard and North Highway 77. So right here, kind of in this oddly shaped piece of land here. Previously, this site came in a few years back and they requested to zone this one to a multifamily project for let me tell you exactly what it was. It was for
Senior, correct?
yeah.
55.
I was trying to be give you the correct terminology for it. Yeah, for us. I didn't want to, be rude with the name, talk about our older community. So yeah, for a senior facility multifamily project. Okay. Currently they're looking to rezone this one to a mixed use zoning. So this one will have multifamily as well as the commercial side of things. So some retail as well as some restaurant and some additional uses inside of here is what they're proposing, as well as what they're calling the farmers market and some additional uses inside of here. Additional clinic use is what we're calling it. Or what they're calling it, what will be called the use, I'm sorry, inside of this particular, development that they're having. As you guys can see inside of this particular one, and we'll blow it up a little bit. They do have some residential adjacency that's to the east of their site. So if we're looking at it, I know that it's kind of flipped down like this. You can see the north arrow that's kind of showing it for you. So they do have some residential adjacency to the site. However, this site does kind of drop down. So if you kind of remember it a while back, so this one drops down quite a bit, and to where they are going to be required inside of their development standards to provide some distance to this particular site. So the closest distance from where this property line is to any structure that's going to be on this site is going to be approximately about 100 feet from their property line to the east to any structure that's going to be here. The structures or anything that's going to be adjacent to this site, they have a lot of landscaping, as you can see on their site plan site, as well as there's a trail that kind of goes along that side of that site. So it's going to be quite a bit of distance between them there. And that's these residential neighborhood that's going to be there as well. Along with that, they will have screening devices that are along there as well. So they have a retaining wall that's going to be there, as well as there's going to be a screening device. So the screening device that the applicant has indicated, and they can speak more on it as well, will be a wrought iron and masonry columns screening device coupled with shrubs. And then they will have the standard landscaping that we require, or not actually standard landscaping, but the 3-inch caliber trees spaced every 30 feet along that area as well. And they've indicated that they will increase that landscaping, and I'll show you their landscaping as well. And they're going to provide even more so a row of trees that's going to be provided here. So they're going to increase that landscaping even more so here. So they'll have that landscaping that's there, so that those trees that are provided 30 feet on center here, and then have the additional kind of trees that are kind of impacted, or I say compacted here, right there, to make sure that they are providing some additional privacy for our neighboring partners that are here just to the east of them. And really, they're going to provide a parking garage for that multifamily structure that's there as well, and a lot of different commercial items as mentioned inside of here also. And that's really the gist of this particular development that's here. We can look at, I guess I'll show you the kind of the elevation plan, so you can kind of see how I mentioned that it kind of steps down. So this is going to be the multifamily, just the elevation plan that they've kind of proposed. And this is just a concept plan that they currently have. This is not their actual development plan. They will have to come back with the actual development plan for this one when they get ready to develop this site. So we will end up seeing it again. This is just a concept plan right now. It's just kind of some of these structures that they have here. It'll be all masonry inside of there in most of those areas where it's not the glass or anything like that. And then this is your farmers market area. I thought it was on this one. Maybe it's not this particular one. Let's see.
Yeah, go to the
Maybe it's
aerial
not
elevations as
aerial.
well.
Oh, you know what? It's on, I think it's you said this one?
Yeah. Yeah, as you can kind of see the massing of the
Yeah.
buildings.
I might have threw it inside of that landscaping plan. I think is where I threw that. Let's see. Maybe I didn't throw it inside of there. I know I have it inside of here. Placement. Oh, okay, here we go. So this is just a depiction of how it's going to look on that neighboring site. So we'll have our eastern property line and where that would look as far as what they would see. So that would be a representation of where that potential multifamily would be from that neighboring east property line. So it's quite a bit. You wouldn't see very much of that multifamily from that site.
Yeah, so if y'all drive by that corner, you can see that it goes straight up in the air. So they've got to level it off in the middle to put buildings and paving and parking and things like that. And so what you end up with is on the right there is a pretty substantial amount of retaining wall. So I think there's like a 30-foot grade difference between the bottom and the top. Yeah, 565 down to, or 557 all the way to 591. So pretty substantial. So we asked them to show this so that it, you know, a lot of people, when you start talking about apartments, they're afraid that someone's gonna be looking down in their backyard. But in this case, we just wanted to show that no one was gonna be looking over anyone here. And so even at eye level, there's plenty of screening on that property boundary.
Okay. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Roger. This is a public hearing. Those that are in favor of this item, you can go first. Those who are against this item or have any questions, you can go second. As of right now, the public hearing is open for agenda item 4. Step to the podium, please state your name and your address. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Darian Shanahan. I'm the principal on this development, and I live in downtown Dallas, 1800 North Field Street, Fountain Place, high rise. When we started off on this 17 acres, it's already approved for about 168 unit age restricted multifamily. And the previous people that did that, it just doesn't pencil out. It doesn't pencil out with the banks nor with any developer. So it's not buildable, it's not sellable. So they came to me, said, how can we fix this puzzle to where we could get something to the finish line? And we approached the city of Red Oak, and Ben, Todd, Roderick, they've all been a pleasure to work with. They've asked some real hard and important questions. Number one, they want to make sure that those neighbors to the south, southeast aren't being looked upon and that we're not imposing on their privacy. So when we see this 40-foot drop, on top of that will also be 900 feet that we're bringing in, 900 feet of evergreen trees that when we bring them in, they'll be mature at a minimum of 15 feet tall. So they're not going to see us and we're not going to see them because we believe in being neighbor friendly. We know if we're not, this isn't going to work. The other issue was DRC said, hey, you know, you're already approved for something. So why do we need to change this, right? And they gave us kind of their wish list of, you know, you're gonna have to bring something better than us just increasing your density. And so we increased the density to 300, but that's also when we said, well, let's make it mixed use. We want to do the farmer's market. We want to do something special. And honestly, the reason we spent so much time on this one versus some Dallas projects, if I do this in Dallas, it's just another project, right? It gets if I do it here, it's something special, and I want to be a part of something special. So between the restaurants, the med spa clinic, which is one of the hottest models in the country right now, we really think when you add this next to the PD 141R y'all passed in April, I just think it helps create an entire new corridor for Red Oak, and we would just love your honor, and we would be honored to have your blessing. And we're here for any questions, any concerns, and in any concerns from neighbors, we would love to speak with them and see how we could correct it. We're here to be good neighbors. So thank you for your time.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
My name is Claude Campbell. I live at 189 Deer Creek Drive, which would be right up at the top of that embankment there. I'm not concerned about them overlooking my property at all. What I am concerned with is just this past week, I spent 15 minutes between coming off of Deer Creek Drive on the Highway 77, making it just to where Red Oak School, Life School is. It was a 15-minute traffic jam. If you put 300 new apartments in there, it's going to be a monstrosity with traffic. That's the main objection I have, really kind of the only one I have. But the traffic there is horrendous during, especially Life School, but every day just coming across 77, excuse me, just coming across 77 to try to go to Waxahachie, I may spend 3 or 4 or 5, 10 minutes there because traffic is so scattered. Here again, you add more traffic coming from that direction and this direction, we're going to be stuck for quite a while. But I just would wish you would consider reducing that number a whole lot, because when it was going to be just seniors, I was not worried about it. But when you start putting 300 apartments and commercial all in that area, and then expecting Highway 77 to handle it, you're going to have a monstrosity of a mess. I'm sorry, but that's my opinion.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else? If not, can I have a motion to close the public hearing, please?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Public hearing has been closed.
Roger, can you pull back up the site plan? Did just want to quickly address the traffic there. They're showing turn lanes on, both 342, and 77. So hopefully that alleviates some of the backup there. It does have 2 entrance and exits, assuming the folks in the apartment would be using the 342 entrance exit more often. It just depends on where they're coming from, just because it's actually closer to the actual units in the garage. So I guess the thought would be that the majority of the apartment folks would be kind of going out that 342 exit there. But as with any traffic analysis, it's, how far do you go? You go down to the 77 342 intersection, you go up to the bridge over the highway, you go up to DFW airport, because now we got people that are traveling, from the apartments to go to DFW airport. It's a never ending cycle if you really want to start looking at it like that. But if there's already a problem there, I can only assume it's mostly due to the life school, because there's not a lot of homes down that way. I could also say I'm ignorant to that because we stopped looking at stuff at our city limit line. I will say, however, to the developer's point, we did have a conversation about, well, why would we just increase density? Well, we're actually getting our first real mixed use development proposal here. We meet with developers all the time that want to do apartments. And we say, sure, in the context of mixed use, and they go, great. Well, we're going to develop this 10 acres in the back, and then later on, someone can do this 5 acres in the front as commercial. And this is actually an integrated mixed use. So can you zoom in on the retail that's on the bottom floor? So this one actually has some retail, some vertical integration, and it's kind of like almost like a little mini Main Street along that fire lane. So it's got parking on the other side, but it's also got, could you go to the
Elevation.
the renderings, the aerial renderings?
Dang it.
Like the 3D view ones.
Oh, the 351.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so right there, you can kind of see it's got a large sidewalk out in the front, which it could be anything from personal service uses, right? Is mostly what it's going to look like, is maybe your little coffee shop, then a barber, nail salon, things that the people in the development would use quite frequently. And then also, can you go to the 2 restaurants? you got two integrated restaurants that are within walking distance, obviously to the apartments there overlooking their pond area. And additionally, you know, I don't know if anybody knew this, but over at that corner of 77 and 342, there was kind of a illegal farmers market going on. Just people would just start parking there and selling watermelons and all kinds of stuff. So there is actually a need for that. And they're now providing a nice clean space for it instead of just a bunch of guys in their vans parking along the road. So this truly is what I would consider, you know, mixed use in a like closed loop system for the residents that live there, versus what we traditionally are seeing is, oh, it's mixed use, it's mixed use. Well, just because the apartment is next door to a commercial center doesn't make it mixed use, right? Because it's uncomfortable to walk to and it's cut off from the pedestrian versus this one is very integrated with pedestrian life. Just from a basic engineering standpoint, they're having to get water from Rocket, which is up 77, and then they're gonna have to extend a sewer line down to the creek offsite.
And I guess my question is, I guess for as an entrance on both entrances.
Can you go back to the site plan?
I guess instead of putting lights there, we propose doing the turning lanes, I guess.
Yeah, you wouldn't wanna. Yeah, you're basically giving free access. By having turn lanes, you've got free access and free flow of traffic behind someone. Like, right, so you're going into the turn lane to make a right into the development, and then you're allowing the people behind you to continue through versus stopping up everybody with a light. And that's, I don't know what that distance is, but right where that 77 is there's already a light there.
Right.
So TxDOT would not be wanting to put another light right there that close.
And I guess-
Now, in the future, the one, I think that, you know, where the actual problem is up at the bridge. There will be a light up there at some point that.
Takes down time frame.
Yeah, so yeah, the TxDOT light, and people love to think that improves the traffic, but it just, I guess it kind of controls the traffic more than improves it.
Okay. And I guess the entrance from 77 would be the same thing, that light would be too close to the one. Okay, at the
Yeah.
other intersection there.
Yeah, because I mean, really the last thing you want to do is inhibit anybody who's not going there from free flow of movement. Because you start putting lights there, now we got people that aren't even going there stopping.
Stop it. Okay.
And it's a pretty big distance between the light that's at 77 and the next light that goes south towards Waxahachie. There's a pretty big distance there.
But they will have to permit this all through TxDOT, and our suggestion is to just do the turn lanes to keep from having to do all that with TxDOT.
Right.
But if TxDOT requires it, then they require it.
Okay, so they could.
So they could,
TxDOT
they
change.
could, I doubt they would. But
Okay.
again, it's just out of our control. We just know what they've done in the past, and so we make suggestions based on what they've done in the past. So that we're not coming back just because we have to move the driveway 100 feet or something, and it changes the whole layout.
What is the increase in density from the previous proposal to now?
Could be close enough.
Yes. Do you remember what it was, Roderick?
The-
148,
Yes,
168?
yeah, the previous one was roughly around that.
Was it 68 to now it's?
300.
And we went from.
Yeah, but it-
3-story
it-
to 4-story.
Yes.
Yes.
And includes a parking garage as well versus all surface parking. So the other one had a footprint about the same size, except it was all surface parked and didn't have any mixed use.
Yeah, didn't have any
elements.
retail or anything like that inside of there.
So on the textile permitting for the entrance onto 342, and I'm assuming onto 77 as well. Is there any chance the city's gonna be on the hook for whatever they suggest out here? Or would it be-
No, it'd have to be, so when they submit their permits for TxDOT's gonna tell them what they need or don't need.
It'll be up to them to build it if they need something.
Correct, yeah, sorry, I didn't take it all the way to the finish there.
So I'm gonna ask the same question that I always ask. What teeth do we have to enforce building number A and building number B to be built?
So
Once say they come in, they put the apartment complex in there and then.
So in the PD conditions, it's a single lot subdivision. A single lot development that's got all of the items being built at the same time. So when they turn in their
know.
permit, it'll be for the entire site, including all the buildings in the farmer's market. All of the amenities and trails and all that stuff.
So on the off chance they decide that
We wouldn't be able to approve their permit without,
okay,
so we couldn't just approve the apartment building permit without
Okay.
having all this other stuff with it.
so if they get halfway through the program, then they decide they're just not gonna build A and B, nothing is gonna continue to be built.
Yeah,
It's just not gonna be approved.
right. We just wouldn't. And then I see where you're going. Okay. So if we issue them a permit for the whole site, they build the apartments and they're like, yeah, you know what? I don't think so. Then we'll just say, great, well, we can't give you a CO on the apartment building until all this
Okay.
other stuff's done.
That's what I'm looking for. Thank you.
I'd like to ask the developers, have you done this somewhere else already that we could see online or something?
Yes, ma'am. Should I approach?
Yes.
Yeah, I would say most notably at 2408 East Belknap in Fort Worth, Texas. They were going vertical. Topgolf had come across the street, and there was a cluster of hospitality bars, bail bonds, everything that was in the right area 30 years ago, but now was in the way of people moving in. And so what I went and did is I got all of them to agree to a price. We went to the city. I said, we can get rid of all the bars and stuff that you don't want here. And if you would, in exchange, give us multifamily, I think we can make this all happen. City Council in Fort Worth did backflips. They said, absolutely, let's make it happen. It was quite a challenge. There was some easements that we had to work out with the Tarrant Regional Water District. There was some billboards from Clear Channel, which never go away, but I was able to get them to go away. And that development is parallel in this, and just, it was a huge development. And the city of Fort Worth, it really, until that happened, the entire area, the entire East Bank there, overlooking downtown Fort Worth and Topgolf, was really stagnant because no one wanted to move next to those uses, those special use permits. And so that's the most notable and the largest one that we've done. And as of today, all the clubs are gone, the billboards are gone, the easements were changed with the Trinity River, because one of the property owners actually owned some of the land in the Trinity River, and we worked out an exchange to move the easement and gift the land to the TRWD. And now what sits there is a beautiful complex. And all the other complexes, people are now moving in. And so it was a win-win-win. That's what we try to create. And, some of our amenities here is we have the splash pad, the pickleball courts, all the new stuff that everybody wants. And so, and we appreciate y'all. And when Todd and Ben came to me and said, hey, listen, what we don't want is an apartment complex built and then all the other pad sites never materialize, right? So I propose, you know what, then just put it in the PD, that once I go vertical for one building, I have to go vertical for all of them. And that doesn't affect us one bit. We just want to let y'all know that we're here with integrity. That's it. We're not running I've seen it all over the state where they get everything approved and they really just want the apartments, right? And everything else is just kind of a ghost. We know Red Oak isn't playing that, and we're here to develop all of it. So thank y'all very much.
Thank you. Commissioners, any more questions? Concerns? Susie, anything from you?
No, I'm good.
Good?
Thank you.
Okay. Michael, anything?
No.
All right. Karen, any other questions? All right. Can I have a motion for agenda item 4, please?
I move we approve agenda item 4 as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Ayes have it. Agenda item 4 has been approved. Moving along to agenda item 5, which is also a public hearing. Consider a SUP request to allow a credit union facility located on Lot 1, Block B of Walmart Red Oak Addition. PIN number 256-592, Ellis County, City of Red Oak. Case number Z as in zebra, C as in cat, 25-23, requested by Vaquero Reese Partners LP. Staff, please.
Right, thank you again, Chairman. Let me pull up this site real fast so you guys can see it. This one is located at the corner of 35 and Reese Avenue, kind of just down the street from Walmart. I'll zoom out so you guys can see the Walmart site. So the Walmart site is right there to the east of this proposed site that you guys can see here. So kind of right there. Let me pull up their site and landscape plan real fast. You can take a look at those for this one. All right. Yeah, those. All right. They have, all right. So cool. All right. We have those. All right. So for this one, as mentioned, this was a request to allow credit union facility constructed on the property with the underlying zoning of HO highway oriented, which requires a specific use permit to be granted for this type of development. Additionally, this site falls within the planning area 1, zone 3 of the I-35 corridor vision plan, which requires the site to be developed in conformance with the development regulations described in the I-35 corridor vision plan. The proposed development is approximately 4,000 square feet credit union facility with a drive-through attached on the site, which you guys can see here. I'll allow Ben to get him a sip of water real fast.
So I just handed you guys the agenda item memo for this that was not in your packet. I'm just going to read it for you into the record. In December of 2024, ordinance number 24-050 was approved by City Council to require SUPs for certain business uses in the HO zoning district. Banks and credit union facilities were among those uses, which justify increased scrutiny to determine the suitability and compatibility with uses in our primary retail corridor. An SUP is required because although financial institutions may be appropriate in certain locations within the HO zoning district, there are other areas that need to be more restrictive to provide for retail, restaurant, and sales tax generating businesses. Interstate frontage in front of a Walmart super center is a prime property that should be reserved for sales tax generating retail and restaurant businesses. Having been heavily involved in economic development and retail recruitment over 25 years, I've learned that retailers and restaurants are extremely selective about where they are willing to locate. If a good site is not available, they simply will not come to the community. EDC staff has been working with restaurants and retailers regarding this location for a number of years, and although it hasn't developed yet, the site still has great potential for future retail restaurant development. If a business that is not the highest and best sales tax producing use is allowed to take the property off the market, that means that future restaurant retailer will not be able to locate there in the future. I believe that the proposed use is not compatible. Further, as the state legislature continues to erode local government control over growth and development in our communities while simultaneously limiting the ability of local governments to provide the resources necessary to provide services for that growth, it is becoming even more important that we preserve prime properties for sales tax producing businesses. Additionally, I'm concerned with locating a bank or similar financial institution along an interstate highway due to the nature of the easy off, easy on access. Prosperity Bank, which is built just south of this site several years ago, prior to the current ordinance requiring SUPs, has had a history of bank robberies due to this easy access. I have spoken with our interim police chief Schroeder, and he shares this concern just as our previous few police chiefs have also agreed over the years. It is easy to settle and allow this credit union to develop on prime retail restaurant location, but it seems to be a short-sighted view that will have negative consequences on a long-term sustainability of the community. Although it is the board's prerogative to approve or deny this SUP, I definitely recommend against approval, and I will also be recommending against approval to the city council. That was from City Manager Todd Fuller.
All right. This is a public hearing. Those in favor of this item, you can go first. Those who maybe have any questions can go second. And as of right now, the podium is open for agenda item 5.
Evening, Tyler Moore, 364 Post Street, Fort Worth, Texas. I represent the developer as well as our tenant. We've been scouting a location on behalf of our tenant for quite some time. This property, which has been on the market for a number of years, fits their needs. They are big on highway visibility. They also have a large number of members in their banking district that reside in Red Oak, primarily veterans. Currently, they're having to drive all the way to Duncanville to do their banking needs. So this is a key location for them within the city. It's news to me that this is being recommended for denial. I did want to point out, in terms of prime retail real estate, this is beyond the on-ramp for I-35, which I believe is why it's been on the market for a number of years. It's just kind of off the beaten path. In addition, pretty much all of the major restaurant brands are in this area. We still do have another portion of the property, which we plan to either develop or sell. We've had interest from several fast casual restaurants, some other groups, urgent cares, et cetera, that are looking at it. It's an expensive property. We have a tenant that's willing to develop a very nice building, provide plenty of landscaping and adequate circulation. And then that will actually open up the back of the property for another potential tax generating use. So thank you for your time tonight. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else? If not, can I have a motion to close the public hearing, please?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. The public hearing has been closed. Commissioners, do you have any questions or concerns, please?
So obviously this property's been open for a long time. I understand that credit unions don't present the highest and best tax revenue for the city. But neither does a vacant lot. This is directly in front of the hotel.
It's just south of it. It's across the street.
Right.
This street right there, yeah.
Yeah. have been nice to see something that came in with more than just the credit union, say credit union and a restaurant. That would have been,
That would make it easy.
a little conflicted.
I am too.
I
That's-
know they put one in Duncanville, right, on 67. I mean,
As a Navy veteran,
yeah, it looks good.
I would love to see a Navy Federal Credit Union, especially if they allow me to join. But I don't know that that's the right place for it. I mean, I can drive Ovilla and find some empty lots that
Right
would
across
actually
the
give the residents of Red Oak easier access than having to go down Sharaff to get to the bank, or go down Ryan to then turn left on Reese to then go to the bank. That's my own personal,
Even closer to Walmart, there's quite a bit of lane.
yeah.
I guess did the applicant, look at some other parcels? Or did they
I'm
bring
not
up?
aware of
Not aware.
any that they looked at seriously.
Okay.
And Mr. Moore said that he wasn't aware that the staff was not in support of this proposal. Did we generally tell him before?
Did we send them the report beforehand?
Which report?
Our initial one.
No, we
Yeah,
didn't.
no,
send-
that was from 3:30 today.
No, we didn't send them.
Okay.
My report.
Generally, our support is given or not given through the comments.
Right.
And so
I just hate,
the comments are met.
I hate to see it looks like an ambush. You know, you come in to present your proposal and get this read to you.
Like grading your paper F before you even submitted it.
I don't have any other questions.
You guys think?
Yeah, I mean, it's close.
You can let them.
Can I ask a question?
Oh, if you
Do
have a
anything
question
that You
for-
need to say in response to maybe what I said up here.
But you need to come back to the
Can you
mic.
Come to the mic so we can hear it.
Please.
Just one other point I forgot to make. This property is currently owned by Walmart. We are under contract to purchase it. They have a very restrictive list of uses that can go on this property, which I think is part of the reason why it's been a challenge to get it developed. Happy to provide that to you if that would kind of help. Just for, future reference, if whether or not this is passed, just so you have a better idea of what can and can't be.
Yeah,
developed on it.
we've seen it. It's restrictive. We get that. We're having the same problems with the vacant track down the road, down the
Mhm.
way. So, but there are things that are allowed that are more reasonable or well favored.
Understood.
Would your client even consider moving the credit union to the back half of the property so the front could be?
Unfortunately not. This site was actually identified and selected by them. It's their arguably top site in the country right now. So this has been their sole focus. I think that would be a deal killer.
Okay.
Thank you.
I guess going back to what you're saying, Ben, you're saying that the other lots were pretty restrictive. Basically.
Yeah, so Walmart purchased a bunch of that land to develop the Walmart, and they have a great deed restrictive system where they don't let anybody build things that compete with Walmart around them.
Right. So I guess I'm thinking if it's already restrictive,
But it doesn't restrict like restaurants, and so I think that's probably the main thing you'd want to see there is a couple of restaurants with a big shared parking lot or something. I think that's kind of the the thought, or there is some There is some retail allowed. I believe they allow sporting goods, so you could potentially have like an academy or something there on that, something like that. not
Something like
specific-
that.
Not, they don't allow sporting goods?
No,
Okay. Cause I thought the other site, they could allow, they could do an academy. I may be misremembering.
So I know these lots been vacant for a while, so I guess I'm thinking, what would be what's the reason then? I mean, if we have great ideas for what we want there, then you have the restrictions from Walmart. I guess my thing is why are these lots still vacant?
They're, I think, like you said, they're expensive. Cause it's Walmart and they don't need to get rid of their land. The off-ramp situation is a real situation. I don't remember what the new, I thought the new layout of the Ovilla Bridge was going to bring that. Cause instead of the crazy jug handles, it comes up to the light.
Mm.
And so it'll be more like a normal intersection. So that kind of mess will get a little bit cleaner and allow that Reese Drive to be a little more of a better corner than it is right now as far as northbound access goes. But I mean, essentially at the end of the day is you got a business that is certainly a business needed for a community.
Right.
But it's right next to another business that's needed for the community that's already there. So you've got two right there next to each other. And it produces what I can only assume is zero sales tax. So it would just be ad valorem.
Right. Which I guess based on the letter from the city manager, he wants to see sales tax. Is that pretty much?
Yeah, so that would come from restaurants and or retail. You know, obviously within the limits of what the deed restrictions are.
But based on that, providing an SUP, this property is allowed for that location, is that right?
It's allowed with additional scrutiny, and the scrutiny is this, what we're doing right now. And what the council will also do.
So, yeah, so the zoning requires the SUP. So it wouldn't be allowed outright, which is why we're here today.
Okay.
So it triggered the SUP. So that's why, that's the scrutiny that Ben is speaking towards. So we have to take the additional measures whenever the SUP is required.
Right.
Then we have to take the additional measures and then we look into everything else. So that's kind of where that additional look came from our city manager's office. So we looked at those additional items. And that was the assessment that was provided.
Okay. Additional scrutiny on top of the SUP. Well, I guess your SUP is there, and you got,
Yes.
the SUP is a scrutiny.
Yeah,
So the zoning.
the
as far-
strange
Right.
connotation of words,
So
right?
I
Special
don't
use
say
permit.
scrutiny. Scrutiny wouldn't be a word that I guess we should realistically use.
Right.
Additional so when we look at additional zoning, the
Right.
components of the zoning assessment, right? Then a part of that assessment, we would look through everything and
Mhm.
all of the components and everything that has to happen with our processes, right? So because this particular zoning, so with the use that they're proposing to do,
Right.
that use is not allowed outright inside of that zoning district. That use isn't allowed outright in that zoning district. It requires an additional element or mechanism to happen. So this one requires the SUP
SUP.
for
Okay.
development. So when it requires the SUP, then we have to look at everything that has to happen in order for this to be approved. So that's
Yeah, a lot of times we're looking at mostly just zoning,
Right.
right? But then this is now the planning portion comes into effect, right?
This is the image we want to portray. What
Right.
do people see when they're looking at Red Oak off of the I-35? It's their first impression.
Right, but also
Generates
in,
sales tax.
right, and
and it's
that's
a
where that
security issue.
planning comes in.
And it's a safety security issue with easy on, easy off.
Yes,
I mean, sadly, it does happen.
yes.
Y'all know.
Right. And I guess these are banks, right? So they already know
Yeah,
what the worst case scenario is.
well, it's not if, it's when.
Right. And they know that, right?
And
Since-
they have to
Yeah,
know
they know
that.
where they're
If they
coming
don't
So
know
it's
that,
not-
then they shouldn't be in business, but
I'm just thinking out loud, like, hey, you're gonna produce, robberies, but these banks know that, right?
I mean, it's happened to Prosperity Bank a couple of times.
Robbers aren't any of our citizens, but you know.
No, but they
Good.
come from every place else because it's easy on, easy off, and then they go back to wherever it is that they live.
It's tough because it's nice to see someone wanting to develop it, but yes, understand that we would love something else to be on that particular parcel.
Exactly.
Right.
And I certainly understand Todd's reasoning, and we have a limited amount of that type of property left in the city.
Yes, you do.
Looking out for the entire city, that it's not our number one concern, the tax revenue that's generated, but it is a concern for the rest of the people that live in the city.
But also think, as you look up and down 35 and go, man, I wish we could take that back,
Yeah.
right? You don't want somebody sitting here 20 years from now going, wish we could have that one back,
Exactly.
right?
It is, it's a catch-22.
Fortunately, the people that make the final decision and us,
Right.
we get to make recommendations.
All right, Commissioner, have any questions or concerns regarding agenda item 5? Anything else?
No question.
No questions. Karen, anything? Susie, anything?
Yeah.
All right, can I have a motion for agenda item 5, please?
I move that we approve agenda item 5 as presented.
And I'll second to bring it to a vote.
All in favor? Okay. All in favor? No, one.
Nay.
All
Nay.
opposed?
All opposed?
Opposed.
So we have three yeses and 1 no. Is that correct? All right,
All right. I'm sorry.
Can we do a roll call?
Yeah. do
2
a
and
quick
2.
roll call vote, please.
Karen,
Yes.
Michael,
No.
Susie,
No.
Derek? Yes,
Those 2 and 2, right?
so it's 2 and 2.
So motion fails.
So agenda item 5, motion fails. The vote was 2-2 on this agenda item. Moving along to agenda item 6,
But it still goes to city council. and they have to
Yeah.
still
open
go to city council. Still goes to the city council. Number 6 is a public hearing and consider a zoning change from Plan Development 175 to Plan Development 175R for a submittal of development plan for a data center complex and associated infrastructure. PIN numbers 183-449 and 308-652, Ellis County Appraisal District. Case number Z as in zebra, C as in cat, 25-24, requested by Cody Brewer. Staff, please.
All right, we have reached our final agenda item for the night. This one is actually the zoning to accompany the plats that we looked at a little bit earlier. So this one is just the development plan that actually goes with those data center projects. This one, of course, remember, is the site that's off of East Ovilla Road and at the intersection of East Ovilla Road and 342. So again, this is the development plan that is going in with that data center project.
Greg, can you put the map on the screen? Thanks.
Gotcha. I'll show it so you guys can see it again, but it's just right here at that intersection there. So we'll take a look at that site plan. So this is the development plan for that project. They're proposing to go ahead and they're looking to construct this data center that's going to be here. This one is adjacent to adjacent to some residential property as to the east of here. So they'll just be the closest property that's going to be or to the property line from the building is going to be approximately 190 feet from this structure to their property line. And then, of course, they have a 60-foot roadway that's going to be there from their property line to the next property line that's to the east of them. Is where they're going to be from this particular building that's going to be closest to that residential structures that are there, or those residential properties that's there. So quite a bit of distance that's going to be between the actual buildings and there. Along with that, they are proposing the screening fences that's going to be along the property lines, actually surrounding the entire properties. So it'll be an 8-foot screening fence. That's kind of similar to a lot of the data centers that we have seen come through the city here as of recent, or as of this maybe a little bit not so recent, along with the shrubs and all the additional landscaping that's going to be required as far as that we typically require throughout our ordinance. And really that's going to be the gist of this one. They do have some, I guess we can take a look at their elevations that they do have for this one. I'll rotate it. So it's going to be their standard elevation for this one. So they have a max height on this one of, say, 70 feet
How
of
much?
this one. I'm sorry.
70, yes.
Yes, 70. Yeah, of this one, but they do have some elements that can go a little bit higher than the 70 feet. As you see here, this one here goes a little bit higher, but that's going to be screening for those devices that can go on top of that roof for the cooling for those data centers. But that's really the gist, is just the development project that goes with, or the development plan that goes with the data center projects.
Yeah, so we approved the concept plan last year or year before, and it's basically just tightening up the concept plan and bringing it to full development plan. These are going to be 2-story versus some of our others that are 1-story. But all of the same, they essentially have all of the same components of their PD requirements as all the other data centers we've done, as far as building materials and noise, construction hours, things like that.
Okay.
Is Aileen Drive, is that county?
That's county.
It is county.
Yes. Yeah. So that's the city limit line is that their property line adjacent to Aileen.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Anything else? Oh, fine. This is a public hearing. Those in favor of this item, you can come to the podium and please state your name and your address. And those who are against this item or have any questions, you can go second. And the podium is open. Please state your name and your address, please.
Luis Lunares, 801 Cherry Street, Fort Worth, Texas. I'm here on the side of the developer and the civil engineer, and we're just respectfully requesting approval for this. Thank you.
Thank you. You want to speak? Yes, ma'am. The podium is yours.
30 Castle Creek. I'm sorry, I hadn't been here a while. What did you all decide about the retention pond?
It's right there on the. So their site will drain all into this detention pond and then release out in the creek over here.
Okay.
I
So,
think your house is down over here.
yeah,
Yeah, I remember that now.
So it'll all collect here and then slowly drain out here into the creek.
okay. So, currently the 2 streets are draining into the creek also. So it's not gonna flood my property.
The 2 streets.
Stone
Stone
Gate and Castle Creek. They drain into my backyard, which sometimes 6 feet tall,
Yes.
and it slowly drains into the creek.
You live on the 10 acres, right?
I'm the 10 acres, yes.
So the detention pond for the whole neighborhood is
My
your
backyard.
lot.
Yeah. So if that's going into the creek also, what is it gonna do with me?
So the way a detention pond works
Mhm.
is that the site can only release what it's already releasing today. So it rains on the
Mhm.
grass right now and a lot of it gets soaked up, right?
Yes.
Well, the point of the detention pond is it rains on the site, goes super fast off the concrete, super fast off the building, gets into the storm drain system, but then it goes over to this pond
Mm-hmm.
and it sits there
Mm-hmm.
for 24 or 48 hours and releases slowly. So the pipe coming in is 48 inches, but the pipe going out is 12 inches.
Okay.
So it can't all release at the same time. But if you want to speak on any of that as well,
Okay, because y'all have taken in consideration my property also, correct?
yes, well,
Okay.
the why we make everyone do detention is so that they're
Mhm.
not putting more water than there was before it was developed
Okay,
onto anyone else's property.
okay, okay, thank you. I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Bring this down here. This is her property.
Anyone else?
That's Casey Pond.
Can I have a motion to close the public hearing, please?
Move to close the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Public hearing has been closed. Commissioners, any questions or concerns regarding agenda item 6?
So when this originally came to us, I don't think it was 70 feet, was it?
Do you remember, Roderick?
What,
It's always been 2-story, but
Was it
all of
already
the,
a
all of the
Yeah,
other
it was
data
2-story.
centers have a max height of 70 feet, even if they don't use it.
Right.
yeah, they didn't change the height
Okay.
from what it was previously proposed.
Does it have the elevation on there that even, are they even utilizing all 70 feet
Of their,
of the?
they're showing it,
68.
yeah, they're showing it at
Yeah,
68.
68 plus
Mhm.
the.
Yeah, plus the
Yeah.
screening on top of it. Hmm. But it's only showing 2 floors is what they're showing, so.
Yeah.
2 floors. Hmm.
So did we also say on the other ones, they could be 70 feet tall and they could have 40 feet of equipment on top?
Yes, so things
Okay.
like, I mean, at the time, we didn't know what they were actually gonna be doing, so it was like cooling towers and
Yeah.
antennas and things like that can go above that height.
Okay. All right, yeah, makes sense.
Okay, how
Is
would,
it a question we can ask or that they know? Is it air cooled or,
It's air cooled.
Water-
It's air
because we
cooled,
don't-
okay.
We're not providing them with enough water for it to be water cooled. Okay.
Is it Red Oak water there?
It's actually rocket water.
And it's closed loop?
That's the only way they can do it. I believe.
Okay.
It's air conditioners and, or cold, or, I'm sorry, closed loop.
Okay.
water. Look, that's why we wanted the screening on top of the building, so it just didn't look like a bunch of giant air conditioner units.
Mhm.
how will it affect that gas station at that corner,
Um,
342 and 664?
it'll be behind it.
It'll stop everybody from selling watermelons and puppies on the side of the road.
We're gonna go down to the farmer market.
Well,
hopefully.
And amen to that.
Yeah. No, I don't know if we've discussed before, but, Ovilla Road's gonna go over 342 and the railroad tracks. So this once very highly visible, what would thought be to be like a shopping center with a grocery store is now gonna be in a giant hole and not really be great
Mm,
for much.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, I remember.
So this is now like a really good use for this property now.
Yeah, because that overpass is actually gonna come down past the gas station.
Yeah.
And the
well,
gas
past-
station will
yeah,
have
you- you
access
wouldn't
from
be able to
342.
have, yeah, you would not be able to have a driveway off of Ovilla into this property.
Right,
Which no retailer would go in there without one.
yeah.
Okay. Commissioners, any other questions or concerns?
No.
All right, can I have a motion for agenda item 6, please?
I move we approve agenda item 6 as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Ayes have it. Agenda item 6 has been approved. And can I have a motion to adjourn, please?
We did mention the meeting dates, or we did, you just hand out some.
Say that again.
I just, I
The
I
meeting
handed
date.
out the, new meeting dates. Sorry, that's, due to scheduling conflicts of now of our times that we have to post the agenda, for both P and Z and city council. And so we're having to basically back up every, or back up our meeting 1 week so that there's time in between us and council to get the ordinances done and things like that. So instead of the first Monday of the month, we've put them all to the last Monday of the month. And if there's a bunch of conflicts or people can't make it, we can shift that around if need be, to like a Tuesday or something on some of the dates. But in general, it'll be the last Monday of the month now.
Okay,
Okay,
so I guess.
So we're gonna
Roger-
have 2 meetings in September.
September.
This is our first of 2 for September, and then starting in October, we'll move to that 4th Monday schedule. Or last Monday schedule.
Okay,
Yes, because council has a special meeting at 6:30, so.
it'd be 7:30.
Yeah, we'll meet after them at 7:30.
So I guess Roger will have to send us some reminder emails.
Yes, we will, yeah.
yes, you will.
Yeah, okay. That's fine. Can I have a motion to adjourn, please?
Move we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. P and Z meeting tonight has been adjourned. Thank everyone for coming.